good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you in whatever time zone in the world that you may be listening from. So, whether you are stuck in traffic, or you're probably sipping your coffee in your room, or you're making jest of somebody, you're probably looking at something to reflect on today, I want to say welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Veil. And yes, I'm your host, Kelvin, and it feels so good to be back here. So, yeah, I know I missed out on last week's episode, and it dawned on me actually, but I have it has really been overwhelming, right? Having to do one or two stuff or so many things happening at the same time, and it seems as though you're never catching a break. That is rather the reason why there was no episode released last week, and it felt strange, particularly it felt really strange not listening to an episode. But yeah, even as at now, this may be late, coming in late. But what is consistency for if not to just show up anyway? That is consistency. So speaking of which, and life gets busier as we get older, as we begin to grow, more responsibilities. There are more responsibilities, and we just need to find a way to balance everything, balance career with family, balance passion, balance work life, balance this, balance that. And at the end of the day, we just need to come out on top, because so many things are screaming for our attention. And yes, like I said, it can get pretty much overwhelming. Of course, we do have a consolation that there is something known as wisdom. Okay, so yeah, let's just quickly just dive into what we're having today. Let's just explore today's episode. But before then, I refuse to forget our usual tradition. So guys, tell me, how you guys doing? How have you been coping? So it's 2 weeks since the last time I released an episode. So since then, how have you guys been? Have you been holding up? How have you been? So have you been enjoying the fatherhood of God? Have you been flexing His benevolence? So talk. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Or have you been overwhelmed just as I have been? Okay. How has life been? How have you been treating it? Have you been intentional? Have you been showing up? And of course, sometimes it seems as though you are not just showing up for yourself, but you're showing up at the workplace, you're showing up for your siblings, you're just showing up, and it seems as though life is not giving you a break. I want to tell you something. I'm giving you a hug right now. All is well, you are doing just fine. But in all, just try as much as possible to enjoy the benevolence of God. Enjoy the fatherhood of God. Anyway, it's your father, so what are we talking about? So enjoy His fatherhood, enjoy Him taking up His responsibility as a father, while you also should flex being His child. Okay, so yeah, let's really just dive into what we have today. Let's just move right into it. So these past few weeks, for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we've been on a topic on friendship, and the one point that we've looked into was how friends shape our decision making, how they influence our life. So when we give access to people, when we call them our friends, we're basically giving them access to our lives, access to literally impact our future. And we spoke about defining friendship. Okay, and the last episode we looked at understanding the Jesus model of friendship and knowing where each and everyone belong to. So not everyone is your friend, not everyone deserves to be called a friend, and we should be okay with calling some people acquaintance, right? And that was recently, yesterday, right? I saw a video that basically captured what I was going to say, and one thing I saw was that the Jesus model of friendship, the 72, the 12, the three and then there is one also applies to business, also applies to not just friendship but to every sphere of influence. So there are people that basically should just be among the crowd. There are people that should be among the 12 pretty much close to you, and there are people that should be much more closer to you, and there should be one that's still closer than a brother, where you can be vulnerable before them and you know you are safe. Not the one that probably be vulnerable before you be sincere and you be stabbed. But they've proven over time that they are loyal friends. They've proven over time that they have got your back, right? So that has been what we'll be looking at this past few weeks, 3 weeks or so. Yeah. Okay. But there was something, but there is something that I want us to look at. Okay. So did you know that it is one thing to understand friendship levels, right? But it's yet another thing to actually check if your circle, those that are your friends, those that you call your circles, those that you call your G's, are really serving you. By serving you, I mean, are they really there for you? So that is where today's episode will be focused on, which is where comes the friendship auditing. You're auditing your friends, you're auditing those that you call friends, right? So if you hear the word audit, I know your mind should go to those that are accountants, those that do with financial statements, those that deal with spreadsheets, those that deal with taxation, those that deals with those that are accountants. Yeah. So I want you to stay with me. Let us just look at it, the basic simple thing, so we could really flow into today's episode. So auditing simply talks about evaluation. It talks about looking at what is working and looking at what is not. So the phrase friendship audit, it's intentionally assessing the people in your life to see who is adding value or who is draining you or who no longer fits into where you are going to. Okay, so friendship auditing is necessary because not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some friendship expire, in quotes, and that is okay. You might be wondering, what does that mean? I believe that people are in your life for a certain reason. Not everyone will be part of your journey in life. For example, many of us, let's look at our lives since where we were born, starting from primary school, while we were growing up. We always had this perception that, oh, this person will be my best friend forever. Of course, there are exceptions to rule. This person is going to be my friend forever. But looking at it down the line, when you start going to secondary school, you realize that you weren't as close to that person as you were when you were in primary school, right? Then secondary school, you met some group of friends. At the end of the day, you realize that you were not really close to them again after you've left. Why? Because that alone shows us that friendship in a way could be seasonal. It just depends on the journey, depends on where you are at that point in life, at that point in time. Thus clearly shows us that in a way friendship will expire, if that is the word, if that phrase actually does make sense. So looking at it from what we are doing, looking at it from decision making points and timing in general, why is friendship auditing necessary? Okay, why is it necessary? Why should we even consider it? Why should we audit our friends? Okay, I know this is a financial term, but I want us to use it because so we could really grasp what we are doing. So this would actually favor those that are accountants, right? Not necessarily, but so we could actually grasp the intentionality. So the phrase friendship auditing is intentional. Okay, so friends should be mutually beneficial. I believe it should, not the one that is parasitic. Okay, not the one that is transactional, but your friends should be life givers. So a solid circle of friends, a solid circle of people you call friends, should encourage you, should challenge you, and should bring out the best in you. But sometimes we feel at home, not necessarily feel at home, but there are times that people will call friends are toxic. You are in a relationship with people, not necessarily romantic relationship, and you feel heavy, you feel stagnant, you feel drained emotionally. You don't feel yourself. You're not yourself. Anytime you are with the group of people you call your friends, you are not yourself, you are just there in quotes. So there was a study from University of Kansas. I hope I got the pronunciation right. So he found out that like it takes 50 hours of interaction to form casual friendship. It takes 90 hours to become close friends, and over 200 hours plus to build deep friendship. But here is actually the kicker. Here is actually the thing. And what is that thing? It is that most people don't reassess their friendship as they grow. Okay, so we keep making friends along the way, we keep being friendly, which of course we should, but along the line we don't tend to assess our relationships with people. So we spend years in being friends with people, with different people at different time interval, but they no longer in a way align with who you are at that point in time, simply because of history. You're friends with this person because you guys had an history before. So if you are probably friends with somebody, right, and at some point in time you guys lost connection, then you guys regain the connection probably after a year, or after 5 years, after 7 years, or after 8 years, depending on situation reports, and you guys start to interact, and you realize that you and this person do not have the same values. You guys do not share the same values again. You guys are not going towards the same direction. So instead of you that to in a way limits a communication, we are simply just simply being friends with that person because of shared history. And that is dangerous for decision making, because the friends you keep can influence your decision. Okay, right? So when when your circle of friends don't match your growth, your choices will start to reflect where they are. Those you call if your friends are a reflection of your decision making process, a reflection of the decisions you are taking. So your choices and where you are going, in a way, or where you are going or where you are not going, reflects the circle of friends you keep. So that is why it is crucial that we make friendship auditing. Okay, so looking at all of this, thinking back, if we should look at it, what are the signs that it is time to audit your friendship circle? What are the signs? What are the signs that you need to look out for? What are the signs that you should just, when you see, be like, yeah, I guess it's time to audit my friendship. I guess it's time to reevaluate those I call friends. And it's also important to state that in as much as we are trying to audit our relationships, right, I want you to also ask yourself a question, like, am I also adding value to those I call friends? Okay, because it should be mutually beneficial. But notwithstanding, what are the signs that I should watch out for to audit my circle of friends? Okay, so we should call it red flags to tell you to watch out for, to evaluate your friendship. So one of them, like I keep saying it, I said it in this episode, I said it in the previous episode, and that has to do with emotionally drained. When you're emotionally drained, okay, so if you feel emotionally drained after interaction, if you feel mentally exhausted after hanging out, then that is a big problem. So good friendship should refresh you, but not let's say you feel as though you just ran a marathon. Okay, good friends should be there for you, but not those that they don't celebrate your wins, they only celebrate your struggles, and when you win it's as though they are just there. They don't celebrate your wins, they don't celebrate your little, no matter how little it is, they don't celebrate any significant progress you've made. But anytime you make a mistake, anytime you fall along the way, anytime you're struggling, they seem to amplify it. Okay, so real friends clap for you in every sense of the word, like in every season of your life, not just when you're down. So if someone only gives energy when things are bad for you, but gets a little bit cranky when you succeed, then you need to evaluate that person, and it's okay to let the person go. It's very much okay for you not to be friends with whosoever you don't want to be friends with, no matter the shared history that you guys may have, no matter how long you guys have come, because those people don't really are not serving you again, and that's fine. In quotes, serving you, and that is really, really fine. Your values are no longer aligned, okay, and that is fine. So maybe you are growing financially, you're growing emotionally, you're becoming emotionally mature, you're growing in your career, but your friends still encourage behaviors that don't match with your growth. Okay, just one more drink. Bro, it's not that deep. Why are you always taking God seriously? Oh, you seem to have changed. Growth is good. And if they cannot respect that, I think it's possible, it is time that you reposition them. It's hard time you take a step back, reevaluate your friends, audit your friends. So just reposition them and just give them the distance that you feel is necessary. So another thing that you should look out for that is a sign is when you're walking eggshell around them. I remember the first time I heard walking eggshell, like, God, what does this mean? Right? So that's when I had to Google it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm sure many of us may be at that point in time where it seems as though we are learning new words, saying new words, and maybe come on, the phrase, the sentence may be quite a common word or common phrase, but yeah, we're saying it for the first time. So for those of us that don't know what eggshell means, you should also probably Google it. So what it does simply means is when you are being careful around people, you don't want to intentionally, in quotes, get the person angry. So you can't be yourself without fear of judgment. You can't be yourself without fear of criticism. That is not something that is not the kind of space you call a safe space. That is not the kind of energy and vibe you would want to receive, you'd want to dwell on. Okay, because if you're calling someone your friend, if someone is your G, if someone is part of your circle of friends, of course, I think you should be able to be yourself. As you are not trying to be yourself, you are just yourself naturally. If you are the one that is given to sarcasm, you flow. If you are the one that is quiet, if you are the one that speaks, if you are one that jokes a lot, that banter a lot, you are yourself. Right? You're not trying to be who you are not because of the kind of friends you keep. So they don't respect your boundaries, whether it's time for money, it's time for whatever. Maybe when it comes to money matters, when it comes to your time, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your personal space. A friend who consistently disrespect your limit, disrespect your boundary, is not someone you should call a friend. It's not even someone that should be part of your inner circle. Okay, so these are the things we should, of course, look out for. And I would love to state that when it comes to auditing your friends, you need to do that without feeling guilty. You need to feel that without having any iota of remorse. Okay, so now you know that. Now you know why auditing your friends is necessary. But how do you actually do it? But before we even go out, the steps to take, the necessary steps to take to audit your friends, I want to say that when it comes to auditing your friends, you do that in line with your purpose. You do that with in line to your current growth, and you also do that in line with where you are going to. Okay, so if you and someone, like there's a statement that someone made, though it was in a line of relationship, which is of course I disagree rather with. I totally disagree with it when it comes to the person left her marriage because in her own words she had grown her husband. So that's, I do not agree with the old stuff, but I just want to pick the word had grown for friendship. Okay, and of course we had grown our friends, right? But now, in terms of what I'm trying to say, in essence, is we audit our friends when our values no longer align. There's no alignment. There's no alignment, whatnot. There is no, we are not aligned in terms of values, in terms of where we are going to, in terms of purpose, in terms of, I'm sure you get, in terms of purpose, there is no form of alignment. Okay, so looking at what we are, the next step that we are taking, like, how do we conduct friendship auditing without feeling remorse, without feeling bad, right? I, the first step for me is that we should pray about it, because we need to ask God for wisdom. We need to ask God for discernment, because it is absolutely necessary for we to have wisdom and for we to be able to discern those that we should keep close. We should be able to discern those that we should let go, because sometimes if we are to judge with our natural eyes, if we are to judge or to look at somebody, there are people that shouldn't even come close to us, because we like the way this person talks, we like the way this person is doing the acting, we like the way this person is going, we love the vibe from this person, in quotes. But by discernment we could actually tell that no, this person shouldn't be in my life. Okay, so it is necessary we ask God for wisdom. It's necessary to ask God for discernment, because some friendship and adjustment is necessary. Some friends may need adjustment, some may need distance. Not everyone, in quotes, needs, when it comes to auditing, not everyone you should let go. Or just because we are saying, you person doesn't serve your purpose any longer, you guys are not having the same value. Because if you are saying the person doesn't serve my purpose, that is actually a selfish statement to make. So looking at it, there are friends based on auditing that needs to be adjusted, right? There are some that need distance, and at the end of the day there are some that you need to let go. So let God show you the differences between the three of them, between those that need to be adjusted, between those that need distance, between those that you need to let go. The friendship should just come to an end, and that in itself is okay. That in itself is okay. So when you look at your friends, do they encourage your growth? Do they make you feel valued? Do you guys have mutual respect for each other? Because this is a time that sincerity matters. This is a time that you should be sincere with yourself. Have brutal, honest conversations. Okay, like that is necessary to have. Sincerity is key, and I have realized over time that we seek sincerity from others, but oftentimes we are not sincere with ourselves. Many people demand people to be sincere, okay? Sincere in their relationships, sincere in whatever they're doing. But when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to our life, we seem not to be sincere. We do not hold ourselves to the standard to which we hold others accountable. Okay? So few seconds ago I made a statement about having honest conversation. There are some friends that you guys just need to sit down together and have conversations. It could be brutal, it could be uncomfortable conversations, and have we talk and as to how to align your expectations. Baba Alpha, guy, this stuff you have been doing past few days, It's not something that I appreciate. It's not something that is that I love. It's not something that I honor. Right? Have conversations. And the next step will be to set boundaries. So if you notice that there's a toxic pattern, somebody's giving a toxic vibes, right? Set clear limits. Limit on access to your time. Limit on access to your emotion. Limit on access to your energy. All of these stuff need to be protected at all costs. And it is okay if they get angry and they begin to act in a way that they shouldn't. It's your life. It's okay to let them go. Let them go with grace. Right? Not every friendship needs drama. Not every friendship needs breakup talk. I understand that friendship breakup is actually the hardest. Friendship breakup is really, really hard and it's not something that is spoken much about. Okay? Some friendship just seem to fade away naturally. And when we look back, we're like, this shouldn't even happen in the first place. What happened? Why did it even happen? But sometimes you need to understand that it is okay. Okay? It is really, really okay. Very, very okay. And looking at it from the perspective of scriptures, looking at it through the lens of the Bible, there's a scripture that is Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 that says, two are better than one and they have a good reward for their labor. And I believe that scripture doesn't just apply to relationships, doesn't just apply to marriage, it also applies to platonic relationship. If you are calling someone your G, if someone is your guy, if someone is your best friend, it should show. It will show in the level of, in the quality of decisions you make. It will show in the way you carry yourself. It will show in the choices you make. It will show it will influence everything. To influence your time. Like you should get better, right? You should get better. There are people you could literally tell that ever since they became close to you, they become better. Ever since you became close to them, you become better. It's just that two are better than one. Simple. It improves the quality of your life. That is, if you are friends with the right person, the quality of your life should increase. It should increase. It should increase. I just saw him. I'm saying that like 3 times because, as I said, increase the first time. Something came to my mind about a meme. I'm sure many of us we have come across this. So somebody was asked a question, of course, is it increase or decrease? And the answer is increase. So yeah, the quality of your life should increase. Like someone say, how does that relate to what I say? Please don't worry. It relates actually. It actually relates to my mind. So quality of your life should, of course, the quality of your life should increase. Right? So, and Bible says iron sharpens iron. Okay, so a real friend will sharpen you and not dull or make you blunt. Someone you call a friend should at least sharpen you. Should get better. Okay, you should get better. They encourage behavior that is necessary for growth. Those are friends. They sharpen you. They help you grow. Sometimes it may not be comfortable, but they are the ones that will look you in the eye and tell you the honest truth. They wouldn't need to walk eggshell around you. You wouldn't need to walk eggshell around them. Right? They are your safe space. You are their safe space. So looking at all of these stuffs, they are there. They sharpen you. They help you. They bring out the best in you. In times they don't necessarily have to sit you down, start saying this and that. But by the way they correct, by the way they celebrate your wins, by the way they help to cover your nakedness in quotes. So if you make mistakes, they don't amplify it. That's what I mean. When you fall, they are there to give you an helping hand. That is what friends should do. When you are in need, they help. Not because they're having an expectation that, oh, you're going to help me tomorrow. but they help because it is good to help. They give because it is good to give. And not to talk of when you are their person, not to talk of when you are their G, not to talk of when you are their best friend. They'll go all the way for you. Why? Because that is what friends should do. That is what friends is all about. That is what friendship is all about. They improve the quality of your life. They're always there for you. Sometimes they do things that would necessarily inconvenience them. So auditing friendship isn't about, it shouldn't be done as a result of ego. Auditing friendship shouldn't be done as a result of pride. It shouldn't even be done from a standpoint of being full of yourself. I believe that auditing friendship should be all about alignment. That is all this episode is all about. That is basically the summary of this episode, alignment. Auditing friendship should be about alignment. I should grow. Your circle of friends should grow with you, must grow with you, right? They should grow with you. But just in case, in quotes, you've outgrown them, doesn't necessarily mean you should cut them off. This is why wisdom and discernment is necessary. There are people that leave them as they are, but there are people that need adjustment. Just like I've said, there are people that need that you keep them distance, while there are people that you just need to let them go. Okay, but it should not be done as a result of ego. It should not be done as a result of pride. Because many times when we have outgrown people, we feel, oh, this person is not at my level again, so I don't relate to this person. I shouldn't act with this person. I shouldn't flow with this person. I shouldn't work with this person. This person is not my person again because I've outgrown them. That are symptoms of pride. It speaks of foolishness, because there are many times people have helped us along the way, and just because we no longer in need of them, we seem to put them away. That screams foolishness and screams pride. So yeah, it shouldn't be about pride, it shouldn't be about ego, it shouldn't be because we're full of ourselves. But auditing our friends should be due to alignment. It should be because we are aligned. If we are letting go of people, it should be because they are not in alignment with our value, they are not in alignment with the purpose of God concerning our lives. So as you grow, your circle should go with you. I believe that Jesus loved everyone, but he didn't give everyone access. He didn't give everyone equal access, rather. And I believe we should have that model. We should be kind to everyone, because that is a good Christian culture, that is a good Christian characteristic, that is a good Christian trait. But you cannot give everyone access to you. Kindness does not equal access. Okay? So ask yourself, are your friends helping you become who you need to be, or are they keeping you where you used to be? So yeah, thank you very much. And hopefully I can drop on that one tomorrow, just to serve as one for last week and one for this week. Because missing last week was really really something else. But I'm sure you've gained something to this episode. I'm sure, and I'm happy and I'm glad that you guys are chilling with me in this episode. You're chilling with me in this podcast. So right until next time, I want you to live intentionally. I want you to protect your peace. I want you to choose your friends wisely. And I'll keep saying this, I want you to enjoy the fatherhood of God. So do take care of yourself until I release the next episode. Watch out, stay tuned, which would most likely be tomorrow. So take care and bye bye.